Okay, let's solve this equation. Now, honestly, it's just a basic find out what k equals. Okay. Now, it looks like there's a lot of distributive law here. So negative 3 times k, negative 3 times 5, so that's negative 3k plus 15. Okay. Negative 3 times negative 5. Now then, here's where some students get a little problem with this. I'm going to subtract this parenthesis. Okay. Now, this looks a little bit awkward unless you think of that negative as a negative 1. Alright, so you don't have to think of it as subtraction, think of it as a distributive law with a negative 1. This makes it easier. Negative 1 times negative 4k is positive 4k. Okay? Negative 1 times the negative 2 is positive 2. Remember, all the way through the parentheses. Don't just do the first one. And that equals 4. Okay? If I combine like terms, negative 3k and 4k, that's 1k. 15 and 2 is 17. That still equals 4. If I subtract 17 from both sides, k equals negative 13. Okay. If there had been a number next to the letter, don't realise to divide by the number next to the letter, but that was it. K equals negative 13. So fairly straightforward. Okay. Now then. Anything more than just like a single letter, like we had k in the last one, we're now doing an x squared. The one after that is an x cubed. Okay, so you always have to set them equal to 0 to solve these. Alright, I mean, I didn't in the previous one down here. Okay, I just basically found that k equals negative 13. That was it. Now for this one, okay, I'm going to have to do this. X squared plus 6x minus 40 equals 0, and that is now my problem to solve. Please don't try factoring x's out of here, which I've seen people do before. You can't do that. Well, there is a special way of doing that, which we'll come to later, but this is just turning into a regular trinomial you're going to factor. Okay, so there we go. That's how you do this. Right, two numbers, negative 40 when you multiply, positive 6 when you add. Okay, right, we have x, we have x again. There's your x squared. Okay, two numbers, negative 40 when you multiply, positive 6 when you add. I think that's plus 10 and minus 4. Is that right? Okay. Yep. Okay, so now then, I'll just show you this one. If a times b, okay, equals 0, then of course a can be 0 or b can be 0. Either one of these two things can be 0. So this can equal 0 or this can equal 0. Well, just by looking at that, can you see that to make this parenthesis 0, the x must be negative 10. Negative 10, positive 10 is 0. And this must be positive 4. If you need to, you set both parentheses, if you're not too sure, if it's a harder one, equal to 0 and solve. Okay, you would just do this. So if it's a harder parenthesis, just do it by this. So two problems to solve. Okay, but that's very visual, is that? So x equals negative 10 and x equals 4. Okay, I think I'm going to just call that quits for this video, because that's more of the stuff you'll see on the prep assessment. These, again, that's going to turn into a factor by grouping problem if I set it equal to 0. I'm not too worried about that. This is solving by substitution, if you want to look up some of those videos. Okay, look for solving by substitution. Again, not on the prep assessment. Okay.